Alright guys, can we talk about just how absolutely off the box unhinged this new Great Mother's Datacron is? It's just a little bit dumb. Now I know I might be preaching to the choir here, sort of talking about how the Great Mother's Datacron is so damn great and it's overpowered and it's broken and it's bleeds bad blood, whatever that even means, into the community, and it makes me a hypocrite because look at me, I wailed on the Great Mothers and I've got this massive Datacron going into 3v3. That's not the point, alright? The point is, it does stupid things, and is that really something that we want? There's two sides of this argument, right? I imagine if I went onto swigger.gg and checked out just how many Relic 7? It doesn't even need to be Relic 7. 7-star Great Mothers there are. Let's do that real quick. Oh, look at it over here. We've got the Great Mothers within swigger.gg. If I go to player data and we just filter by all and we just have a look and see how much of the player base has got it 7-star. So 1,606 people have got a 7-star Great Mothers right now, which is 0.46% of the active player base that Galaxy of Heroes has got recorded on swigger.gg. So we're talking about a very subsection of a very small subsection of the player base here. This is essentially enough to fill out the entirety of Kyber 1, but I imagine even a lot of those are not sat in Kyber 1. It's a small amount of the player base. So really, when we think about how powerful this Datacron is it really that important? Is it really that important? I don't think so in the grand scheme of things, but on the other hand, this is a Datacron that is a lot of fun that people aren't going to be able to experience. I would be less annoyed about this exclusive Datacron if other people could actually use it. Well, like, what's the harm in that? What's the harm in that? There's still going to be thousands of players that don't get to use this Datacron across the life cycle of when this Datacron is around. I get it, this does encourage whales to whale, and CG needs money because they can't afford a second laptop to start working on things. But does it really matter that much? Does it really matter that much? I didn't spend the money to get the Datacron, it was just a happy accident. I was going to spend anyway, because I guess I'm a whale these days, and how the mighty have fallen, as they say. But let's take a look and read this for a moment. So, the level 9 for Great Mothers. At the start of battle, Night Sister allies are going to gain 200% defense and 100% health and protection, and they're immune to both daze and fear. So they're going to be incredibly hard to hurt because 200% defense is a hefty amount of defense, and they're doubling up their health and protection, and you also can't daze them and you can't fear them. Now, whenever an enemy attacks out of turn, the enemy is going to take damage equal to 35% of their own max health. This is essentially a part of Treya's leadership, just thrown on casually, and attacker allies are going to gain retribution for a turn, which is great, means they're going to counterattack. All Night Sister allies are also going to recover 30% health and protection, so don't attack out a turn, because in the Great Mother's team, everybody's going to have 200% defense, 100% additional health and protection, and if you attack out a turn, they're going to recover 30% of their health and protection, and by the way, they're going to get retribution on their attackers, and by the way, you're going to take 35% of your max health as damage. Kind of dumb. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with Doomed, which will happen immediately in a Great Mother's team, they can't counterattack until they're defeated. They're stunned for a turn, and they have minus 20% offense for the rest of the encounter. When the stun expires, they're going to get a bonus turn. They're going to gain speed up for 2 turns, which can't be evaded, dispelled, or prevented, or resisted. So that speed up also ties into, what Doomed does. When an enemy with Doom takes a turn, they're going to lose 20% of their max health, so it just sort of speeds that process along. While an ally is blessed, they and Great Mothers take 35% reduced damage, and they deal bonus true damage to the target enemy, which can't be evaded whenever they use an ability. That's any ability. That's basics, that's specials, that's attacking out of turn. All of that business means, you're going to take true damage. By the way, whenever an enemy is defeated, they also can't be revived. So this really stomps out things like, like Leia and anything that likes to revive. Santi, yeah, you're not coming back, brother. Sorry. You big fluffy Wookie. Now, I've decided to pair this with the wordy level 6 that the Night Sisters have. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with defense down, which Morgan Elsbeth does quite a lot, reduce their max protection by 50%. This doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because we're essentially going to be dooming everyone and they lose all their protection anyway. Whenever a Night Sister ally gains Foresight or Stealth, all Night Sister allies are going to gain 5% turn meter and critical damage, stacking until the end of the encounter. there is a lot of stealth. There is a lot of foresight in a Great Mother's team. Whenever an enemy attacks out of turn, which, that's really bad idea with Great Mothers in this Datacron, all Night Sister allies are going to recover 40% health and protection and gain retribution for 1 turn and 15% turn meter. That's going to double up. You're going to recover 70% of your health and protection whenever an enemy attacks out of turn. God forbid you attack out of turn. Just like, I hope you're dealing more than 70% of my max health and protection, because otherwise, I'm just healing at this point. Good luck with all that defense. Now, at the level 3, I've decided to say whenever a dark side ally resists the debuff, they're going to recover 2% health and protection. Just to be a little bit more irritating in the recovery section. Now, this isn't the best level 3, in my opinion. The best level 3 could well be the additional buffs, the health steal up, the health up, but you don't even need it, I'll be honest. You don't need the dispelling of debuffs either. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're invaded, gaining accuracy doesn't even matter. Maybe dark side allies gaining 10% turn meter whenever an ally or an enemy is defeated is useful, but it doesn't matter. The level 3 is almost irrelevant. The other part of this Datacron is it's got different stats, and the stats here are bonkers. Mine has got a roll here of offense of 79.25%. That's just on the offense. One roll, giving nearly 80% offense. And then we've got some defense here and protection and some health and some more offense. So I've got like 116% offense, 30 to 40% health and protection, and an additional 60 odd percent in defense on top of all the other bonuses. It's frankly bonkers. Now let's see how it actually performs against some of the best performing teams in the game. Here we have the Great Mothers going up against a Leia team with Captain Rex and the Stormtrooper Hancron. All of these have got relic levels coming out of the wazoo, good modding, and I'm going in with a Morgan Elsbeth, Merrin, Dark, Death Trooper Peridia, and Spirit's team. That Spirit is Relic 3, by the way. Now just watch how quickly this gets out of hand. The massive amounts of damage that we deal right there. Merrin, by the way, is just providing additional recovery to this team. Doesn't need to be in this team, that's just why not. Oh, there goes Captain Rex. Let's now go ahead and doom someone else. Drogon! Why not go after Drogon now? I don't care. Look how much damage that Spirit is doing already. Taking away like 30% of Leia's protection in one hit. Captain Drogon has triggered his second wind there, so he's healed up, but it really doesn't matter because he hasn't even done anything yet. Mass assists over here, basically getting rid of all of Leia's protection again. And then Stormtrooper Han is deciding to taunt. Now, the Blessed character can avoid taunts, so we put Blessed on Spirit, of course, to deal more damage, and there goes Drogon. I decide to put that Doomed next on R2-D2, and we just... it doesn't matter what Morgan Elsbeth does. Not Morgan Elsbeth, Merrin does. It really doesn't matter. You could probably do this with just Morgan, Great Mothers, and Spirit, truth be told, and you'd still be absolutely fine. I know they've got damage immunity. I'm doing that basic just to deal some max health damage to them, or reduce their max health by 20%. We clear it off, Spirit doing a decent chunk of damage there over to R2-D2, and then we'll go ahead and just start biting away at Death Trooper. The damage output is just frankly ridiculous. Let's go ahead and do another big chunk of damage with the Relic 3 Spirit. Relic 3 Spirit there, not critting. AoEs coming out of Great Mothers, big damage to the entire team. We systematically just doom individual characters, and look at the state of our characters. Like, Morgan Elsbeth has had that trapped, or whatever it is, from Leia's leadership, and she's just sat there with full health. They can't chew through us. Her ultimate is only, like 70% of the way done, and she has no allies, and we are basically full health. Now, even if this was in a GAC match, 5v5, we'd hit full banners at the end, even though Merrin has no protection, because that counts as having full protection, funnily enough. So yeah, it absolutely destroys this Relic 9 Leia, without any issues whatsoever. Spirit over there casually doing 243,000 damage on a basic. At Relic 3. We can take the same team in against the fabled JMK Cat featuring Plo Koon with Plo Koon's Cron, which is also very good. Now in this one, I recommend you go ahead and you put the old Doomed on Snips so she can't get rid of that lovely taunt that we've got on Morgan, and then we put the Blessed on Morgan so that when Cat decides to yeet, it doesn't do anything because Blessed characters are immune to instant defeat abilities. Isn't this nice? We'll just go ahead and do a nice big AoE here, practically killing that Snips out of the gate. Isn't that wonderful? I should have done the mass assist there, by the way. That would have completely just destroyed Snips. We can't, unfortunately, avoid taunt with anybody else. Already, though, you can see that we've got massive damage coming out of coming out of Spirit. Snips basically killed herself thanks to the level 9 from Great Mothers. You know, just doing that 35% max health damage to the enemy when they're attacking out of turn. Plo has also bit the dust, so it's now just down to Commander Ahsoka Tano and GK. They're going to go back and forth. I don't advise attacking out of turn, guys. That's not really very good for you. Look at the health and protection across the team. We've lost all the protection on Spirit, of course. I think she's got heal immunity right now. But the enemy has got no allies. They're trying to do some damage. That wailing from, you know, Relic 8, I think it's a Relic 8, JMK, doing literally nothing. Look, 1,800 damage there to Merrin. It's just stupid amounts of damage, guys. Stupid. Oh, it's a Relic 9 JMK. I do apologize. There's me underselling it just a little bit. Now, the only problem with this is, of course, you can't put Blessed on Spirit, but already Spirit is recovering their health. Look at the health and protection on Spirit. All the way back up there. Full banners against a JMK Cat team with a Plocron. And I still think that this is actually the direct counter to the team. JMK Cat with Plo, I think, is the direct counter. You go ahead, you reset the cooldowns on Cat. You need to be targeting Morgan Elsbeth so you can get rid of the pre-taunt, and then you yeet out Great Mothers, and that's it. But this is still absurd levels of power, if you ask me. Absolutely absurd levels of power. And I'm not sure how to feel about it. Honestly, I just wish if CG are going to introduce Datacrons that are this powerful, that it should at least be available to the entire player base when they get the character that it belongs to. It's still a brand new marquee. It still requires a high level of cash investment, or people have to wait until basically the end of this exclusive Datacron set in order to enjoy it just a little bit. I don't mind, in theory, there being an occasional Datacron that has got masses of power. I'm looking at you, Moff Gideon Cron. I don't mind it per se, but at least give everybody an equal chance to try and enjoy that Datacron before it disappears. I want to know your thoughts though, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. Great Mothers, yay or nay on the Datacron? I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.